Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this week's live stream, all about all things property related. We're talking mortgages, we're going to talk about the market conditions, and we're then going to talk about any questions that you have regarding your house buying journey or your house selling journey. So, yeah, please feel free to pop along towards the end of the live stream. We're going to get into the question and answer session. But I thought first and foremost, we will like to talk about what's been going on in the property market. The last few weeks, it's had massive changes in terms of interest rates, mortgages rates going up crazily amount, house prices starting to slow down, and also other bits and pieces. The amount of mortgages available is becoming scarcer and scarcer. So let's see how we get on with this stream tonight, guys. So first of all, welcome to everybody who's also wishing me happy birthday. Elena, thank you very much. Got a poll as well, guys. If you want to try and guess my age, feel free to put that in the have a little go on the poll there. Cheryl thinks estate agent job when you left school, been doing it 20 years, so I'm thinking 36 candles on your cake this year. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, Cheryl. Albie, celebrations today, then? No, I was at work. I thought I'd spend my evening with you guys. That's how committed I am to this channel, guys. So thank you so much for everyone who tunes in every week as well. There's actually people waiting to watch the stream and hear what I've got to say and share and discuss their property buying journeys as well. So what we'll do is, like normally, we'll go through property news. And because I am open and honest, I've shared news over the last year about the Nationwide and Halifax's latest price index. The last few weeks we've not done that as there's been other things going on, but now we're going to go back to Nationwide house price index. We'll then talk about mortgage rates and stuff like that. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop it in the comment section below, and yeah, we'll get onto those a bit later on in the stream. So first of all, we're going to go into Nationwide's report. Again, any questions you've got throughout this, guys, please just pop in the section below and we will get to it. So Nationwide are saying annual house price growth slows to single digits in September. Modest slowing in annual UK house price growth to 9.5% in September, down from 10% in August. 10 of the UK's 13 regions recorded slower annual price growth in the third quarter of this year. Southwest was the strongest performing region once again, while London remained the weakest. Weakest, but still very, very expensive. So let's see what Nationwide's chief economist has to say. In September, annual house price growth slowed to single digits for the first time since October last year. Although at 9.5%, the pace of increase remained robust. Prices were unchanged over the month from August after taking into account seasonal effects. This is the first month not to record a I can't say that word, rise since January 2000. So there have been signs of a slowdown in the market over the past month, with a number of mortgages approved for house purchases remaining below pandemic levels, and surveyors are reporting a decline in new buyer inquiries. Now, that though pre-pandemic levels for mortgage approvals, that for me is quite a big thing, because we've been measuring everything against pre-pandemic, and everything has been, up until the last few weeks, been better or higher than pre-pandemic levels. This is the first thing that I've gone and read fully, which is saying that the amount of mortgage approvals is actually down on 2019. So that could mean that more people are buying cash rather than mortgage, but it probably means that there are less and less people looking to buy who require a mortgage right now, whether they can't buy or not wanting to buy. That's something we'll talk about a little bit later on. Less, the slowdown to date has been bodies of stock on the market. This has meant that price growth has remained firm. Fair comment. By lowering transaction costs, a reduction in stamp duty, which we talked about a little bit last week, may provide some support to activity and prices, as will the strength of the labour market, assuming it persists, with the unemployment rate at its lowest since early 1970s. They go on to say, however, headwinds are growing stronger, and we all know what those headwinds are, suggesting the market will slow further in the months ahead. High inflation is exerting significant pressure on household budgets, with consumer confidence declining to an all-time low. So, yeah, I've done a poll earlier today, actually, about with everything that's going on in the world right now, it's hang on, let's get rid of that. I've not noticed just yet people not wanting to buy. And I've said, as soon as I start noticing things change in my area, I will let you guys know. But at the moment, all I can see at the moment is people still wanting to buy and people still wanting to sell. Now, that may change depending on where you are in the country, but at this particular month was my second busiest sales month of the year. We done very, very, very well, and October has started bloody strong. Now, whether that's people who have managed to lock in a mortgage rate sooner rather than later that are buying, or people who are just buying no matter what. But the poll that I did, showing a small sample of my audience, which is you guys, they said this. Look, let's add it onto the screen here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Hopefully you can. So I asked, with the recent economical issues, has this affected your decision to buy a property? We had 65 people vote. And it look, I mean, look at this, 31% of you, so 33-ish people, 31, 32 people are waiting for a crash. What surprised me more, with all the doom and gloom that's in the papers, and other YouTubers are saying that the market is going to bottom out at 50% and 40%, all those sorts of things, 69% of you are not waiting. You are, well, not waiting for a crash. You're waiting either for, if the right property comes about, you're going to go for it, or just pause to see what happens. So the vast majority of you are still thinking of that small audience, 65 people are thinking of buying if the right property comes up, or just putting things on hold and maybe resuming later on. Only a third of you are actually waiting for a crash, which some people are predicting. Now, let me know again, guys, like what your plans are, because not all of you may have voted in the live stream, on the poll there. But I think that's a great thing. I think it's a great thing that a lot of people are still thinking of moving. If you can afford to move and you know you're going to stay in a property for a number of years and you can lock in a long-term mortgage product, then buying now, if you find the right house and can afford it and you're comfortable, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. So that's my 2 pence. Alex, hello. Good evening. Happy birthday. What a party. I know. I was going to wear a hat. But yeah, the kids broke all those when I'd like a mini birthday on Monday with all the family before school and stuff. So yeah, that was nice. Thank you very much, Bowie. You, Basis 7, happy birthday. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Some more happy birthdays. Really appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate it. Happy birthday from Mia. How you doing, guys? Happy birthday again. Thank you very much. So, Matt, the 2022 housing peak will be just like the 2007. It may be. But as I've said in a few live streams, the labour market is a lot stronger than what it was in 2007. There is more people in work than there has been ever. So there may not be as many repossessions because people will be in work. They may have to cut down other things in order to pay their mortgage, or they may look to downsize. So I don't think at the moment we're going to be seeing 2007 price crashes, because the world is a different place and the financial markets are in a different place. But that's not to say that other things can happen which may do that. But I think comparing 2007 to now, I think it's unfair, because it's two completely different situations. But obviously, it's your opinion. You're more than welcome to have that. I welcome it. Esteban, congratulations. Moving on the 14th of October. Congratulations, my friend. Buy and wait. Don't wait to buy. In the long term, you're always winning if you're not leaving too much. Exactly. If you can afford to buy right now at a reasonable rate, and you can lock it in for 5 or 10 years, or some doing longer, if you can get it, and you're going to be there for a long time, then yeah, you will eventually start seeing capital appreciation with house price growth. So yeah, it will be. Yeah, I'd be buying out if I needed to buy a property and I saw the right one, I'd still buy out, and providing it was affordable for me. I've been waiting for 2 years to buy my right house and still optimistic. I believe everyone wants to buy, but with the crazy price rises, would people afford to make these offers? I think that's what we're going to see at some point, guys, will be the affordability of, with the mortgage rates going as high as they are, hitting 6%, as the thumbnail will show, for a 2-year fixed rate mortgage. So they're approaching 6%. That's going to be the main thing. Although 5-year and 10-year mortgages, which we're looking at today, some of those are cheaper than the 2-year fixed rates. So there are cheaper rates out there. It's just a case of looking for them, and that's where if you get a great mortgage broker, they can help point you in the right way. Thank you very much, Mr. Thanks for your birthday. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That is the struggle will be if they can afford it. S-Ban is will go down. It could do. But I think the problem will be more if the continuing mortgage market keeps going as the way it is. People may want to buy, but whether they'll be able to buy. Now, there's talk of the first type of mortgages, because mortgages have started coming back to the market now. Halifax, NatWest, all these big lenders, they paused any new products and they withdrew a lot of products, but now they have re-entered the market again. They never said they wasn't going to come back to the market with new products. They just said, we're pausing it, we're reassessing, new products will become available shortly. And the mainstream media didn't report that. They just said, banks taking products away, crash, blah, 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 blah. Never actually reported that they will be lending again. It's just a case they're just reassessing how they package these deals up. And here we go. More and more deals are coming back onto the market every single day. But it's whether the interest rates and the stress testing will be affordable for people and if it's doable in the long run. So that'll be my main concern will be is how much harder it will be to actually obtain a mortgage rather than people being able to afford the actual price. Like if you put into a mortgage calculator 4.5 times your wages of you and a partner or you and a family member, you may be able to afford the actual wage multiplier. But then when the banks then go and stress test you against their interest rate and stuff like that, that's then might be where you fail. Good luck to anyone who will be able to afford a mortgage in the next couple of months. It's going to be tough, but there will be people that can afford mortgages. There's always money. There's always money knocking around. It just means that maybe the masses of people might not be able to buy just yet. Elena, affordability is an issue. I can no longer afford to buy, and the rental market is super crazy. The prices need to come down to compensate for the interest hike. The issue is now rental prices rocket. And this is what we're having. We're having landlords are now passing on their interest rate rises onto their tenants. So if you're renting or looking to buy, you're going to be experiencing higher mortgage rates and higher rental prices to pay as well. Because these landlords, they're not going to swallow up the difference from their double of interest rates. They will be passed on to tenants. So if you are in a fixed term tenancy agreement, a short hold tenancy agreement at the moment, and it's coming up for renewal, you could bet your bottom dollar that landlord will be probably looking to increase that rent quite a lot. So yeah, just bear that in mind. While we take a break, if you can hit the like button on this stream, this birthday live stream, I was going to have banners and party balloons and all that sort of stuff, but I decided to get some beers from the shop and do that instead. So bear with me a second. Oh God, hair is going crazy. Yep. So please give the live stream a like. We are on, how many, about 15? I'm sure we can do better than that, guys. So let's get that up there. And again, if you want to guess my age, please feel free to pop it in the comment section. I'm loving a few of you, not liking a lot of you. So looking at the results so far. Good evening, Sylvia. Thank you for the birthday wishes early on the post. Thank you. Hi, Jock. How you doing? Jimmy Davis, happy birthday. Thank you. Jay, happy birthday, Lee. Thank you. Mortgage to wage ratio is now way above 2007 crash and today become equal to just before the 90s crash. Yep. Again, the market is in a different place. In 2007, we had 130% mortgages. Banks were throwing money at people. Yeah. Whether they could afford it or not. You could go and get a certificated mortgage. If you was on 30 grand a year, you could say, right, I'm on 50, 60,000 pound a year, not have to prove it, and they'll give you a mortgage. People have been getting mortgage over the last few years or since 2013 have been stress tested for scenarios just like this. So theoretically, a lot of people can swallow a higher interest rate, but what it will be is new people looking to come onto the market who maybe started their property buying journey earlier in the year or late last year, who are now seeing that difference in low interest rates to high interest rates. Some first-time buyers who are coming to the market fresh now won't know any different than the rates that are on the market right now. Okay, so it's going to be people that started looking last year and earlier part of this year that are going to really notice those rates increasing. People who start looking now will just have to buy more smarter and buy the house they need rather than the house they want. We've had so low interest rates. A lot of the market have been able to buy maybe a house that they don't need they don't want right now, but they're able to buy it because interest rates were so low, although prices were going up. Whereas what we might find is people having to be a bit more sensible with the house or the property that they're buying, maybe buying a flat first rather than a 3-bedroom house, and being a bit more careful in what they buy straight away rather than going straight for the big house, which I know a lot of people over the last 2 years have gone straight for the big family home rather than working their way up to it. So I think we might find a lot more lower end properties being popular for first time buyers rather than the second step move, which they've been buying more recently. Lee, I finally tried to renegotiate and the estate agent basically told me to piss off. Oh, well, at least I tried. I hope you gave some good reason, Boa. I hope you gave some good reason. But yes, you don't ask, you don't get. So well done for trying. Hopefully you didn't piss the owner off too much. But if they didn't ask the owner, then yeah, they should have. They should have. I'm currently negotiating a renegotiation with one of my clients at the moment on the house buying service, where the agent actually came back to us and said they don't want to put that to the owner unless we're sure we want to do that, because they feel like the owner will just say no and potentially go with another buyer who's still showing an interest. So you do have to be careful when you're doing these offers not to burn all your bridges. So if you do it properly, then hopefully you can still continue with the sale without much bad blood. Mortgage offer finally in. Congratulations, one of us, Carl. After 7 long weeks, just waiting for the searches. The mark situation doesn't make me nervous, but my landlord tried to hike the rent 20%. Blimey. This is what I'm saying. Rents are going to go up. So you may think mortgage payments are high, but landlords are going to be making up the difference by putting your rent up. So it's yeah, you're going to feel it if you're renting or buying. Liam, how you doing? I've seen interest rate only mortgages go as high as 6% at the moment. The market is crazy. It is crazy, but banks, if they continue this high level of lending, then if they're only going to keep going up, then they're just going to shoot themselves in the foot, because they make money by lending money. If interest rates are going up, they're having to pay more money on savings accounts, because that's what they tend to do. If interest rates go up, they slowly pass on the savings interest rate to their savers. So then they need to make money, and they make money by lending money and charging interest. So if they start seeing a severe lack of people not being able to get mortgages, that's going to hit their bottom line. And I'd imagine there will be some competition coming. But I think first and foremost, we're probably going to start to see more of the 95% mortgages get withdrawn from the market. The higher risk lenders that would maybe lend to somebody who had maybe a bit of adverse credit, 95% mortgages, low deposit mortgages, I think they'll be the ones which maybe come off the market, which happened during COVID. And maybe we're seeing a return to 90% mortgage being probably the best loan to value you could probably get. But again, look at the long-term fixes, Liam, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying they're getting cheaper interest rates on 5 and 10 year fixes rather than 2, 3 or 4 year fixes. So, yeah, it's good. Hi, AJ, how you doing? You doing well? Questions in, guys, as well. If you've got any, if you're buying a house right now, if you want some advice, let's talk about that. So many reductions I'm noticing a few more reductions. A lot more coming on the market as well. A lot more coming on the market. And I've also noticed not as many people registering as new applicants. So over the last, say, 4 or 5 months, there's been quite a steady stream of people looking to buy. And I've noticed over that time, more and more people are currently on the market rather than being sold. But beginning of the year and earlier last year, everyone that was viewing was either first-time buyer like yourselves or somebody who's in a sold proceedable position. Over the last few months, there's been more and more applicants when they're registering with us saying they have a property to sell and it's just on the market or on the market and haven't sold yet. So, but now the people that we're dealing with, it may be less new people registering, but the people that are registering are, again, in a proceedable position and ready to move. So we normally get this around Christmas time where you're not as busy, but the people that are coming through the front door and calling up are serious buyers who are able and wanting to buy. Whereas what we've had the last few months is more on the market people who aren't quite ready to commit to a purchase because they haven't sold their own. But the last few weeks I've certainly seen a more I don't like using the word serious, more able amount of buyers registering, looking to buy. And that will probably coincide with why we had such a great sales month in September. And that's continuing into October as well. So it's, yeah, I mean, my time isn't being wasted as much on people who aren't in a proceedable position the last 5-6 weeks, whereas a few months before it certainly was. Matt, unemployment was also low in 2007. It's a lagging indicator, unfortunately. Housing market didn't bottom out till 2009. I'm certain housing prices will correct 20% over the next few years. Thing is, if you shout prices are going to crash over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you'll eventually be right. There are these cycles. And this is what I was going through some YouTube channels earlier today. And so many of them have predicted house price crashes 2 years ago. And when it happens, or if it happens, they're going to say, I told you so. I told you so it was going to happen. But you say it enough, eventually you're going to be right. A broken clock is right twice a day. So 20%, I don't think we're going to be looking at 20%. That's my opinion. And 20% will only take us to 2019 prices, if we're honest. So that's not, I wouldn't class that as too much of a crash. But there are some people that are quoting 40%. And I don't know how far back in history you have to look back to get a housing price crash of more than 20-25%. And again, the finances are in a much better place right now, in my opinion. I'm no expert on the economy. I can only talk about what my opinion is on the housing market. And I thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate you coming and giving your opinion as well. It's nice to have sort of a bit of good conversation with someone who's not just being totally rude. All right, guys, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Too much beer wishes. Happy birthday, Lee. I'm still waiting for the news on the restricted covenants. Hopefully good news. Good luck with that. Let me know how you get on, mate. I know we said that last week, didn't we? That you should hear something this week, but hopefully you hear something by the next time. Give me food. Welcome back. Finally received our paperwork. Report, contract, transfer, stamp duty form. Don't know what we're supposed to be looking at for right. So if you received the final paperwork, your solicitor will probably be putting on there on the covering letter on that report what you need to be looking out for. If they've found any concerns or anything like that, then they should bullet point out on the first or second page the things they've found out and what you need to be looking at in more detail. All right. If you do want to ping me an email with some bits and pieces, you're more than welcome to. Just ping me an email on where are we? Over here. And I can look at it for you. But yeah, you're paying your solicitors to find out things for you, and they should lay that out quite simply so you can make an informed decision. So I'd be very surprised if they haven't labeled those things out. But if you do need any help with that, then yeah, just speak to your solicitor, because that's what you're paying them for. That is what you're paying them for at the end of the day, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure you give them a lot of money, and normally they fill out the stamp duty, land tax form as well. I don't know many solicitors that don't fill that out for you unless they're going to charge you extra. But sign your contract, fill out your transfer form. Don't date your contract. That should say that on there. But yeah, if there's anything on your report you want to run past me, feel free to email me. Also, are we supposed to receive a copy of our... You should have. Some solicitors get that sent over when the searches come back. They report on the searches. So you may have had that maybe a few weeks ago, maybe missed it. Or it should be included in that pack that you've got there. I'd be very surprised if they haven't reported on the searches already or isn't included in that pack that you've already got. So let me know. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to send anything over, just ping me an email, give me info. Basic surfer. Due to house prices slowly crashing, is it okay to approach the estate agent with a lower offer on an offer accepted property for which I'm waiting a mortgage offer? So first of all, basic surfer, if you've had the valuation back and the valuation has come back okay, then it's difficult to renegotiate. Not impossible, it's difficult. If you've had a home buyer survey also, which has come back and the price is also okay, then it's even harder to negotiate. But if you've got a valid reason, as in the property in your area has gone down X amount of percent, and you might be talking a couple of percent, 1%, 0.5%, is it worth losing that bad blood or that nice reputation you've got with that seller right now to save £10 a month on your mortgage or a couple of pound a month on your mortgage? So you've got to weigh up. Would you be willing to annoy the owner, annoy the vendor, possibly lose the property if they say no? And remember, if you do lose that property, if your mortgage isn't transferable, and you have to apply for a new mortgage, you may not get the same rate that you've got now. So sometimes a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush is a saying I use a lot at work. But yeah, if you genuinely feel like the property is crashing where you are and you can see evidence similar properties selling for less money than what you're paying, then you do have a fair reason to go ahead and do that. But if the owner has already found a property and they're also using the money that you're paying them to buy their house, they may not be able to afford to take a drop. So you've got to weigh it up. Speak to the agent, have a look at other properties, see what the prices are doing in your area. But it's very difficult to try and renegotiate without a real reason. And if you can't find any evidence or reason to back up your, it is difficult to try and get that renegotiated. Cheryl, what do I expect on completion day? Exchange yesterday, congratulations, to complete on the 21st of October. Is there any usual hiccup delays I need to be aware of? So because you'll be at the beginning of the chain, Cheryl, you should complete relatively early in the day. If your solicitor sends the completion monies to the seller's solicitor, say at 9, half 9, you should have a phone call from the estate agent between sort of 10, half 10 to say that it has completed. Whether the seller has actually finished moving out, if the property is lived in, is another question. Most solicitors tell buyers that they should be clear of the property by 12 o'clock. But because you're at the beginning of the chain, you may very well be ready earlier in the day, maybe 10, 11 o'clock. So wait for that phone call from the estate agent to say it's completed. If you haven't heard by sort of half 12, it might be worth giving your solicitor a call and the agent if you can't get through to your solicitor, and then seeing what happens there. Sometimes there are delays, banking issues, solicitors haven't received the money or human errors, stuff like that. So if at any point you are worried, just give your solicitor a call. If you can't get through to your solicitor, get onto the agent and they'll be able to speak to the seller's solicitor as well as your solicitor and try and hopefully tell you what's going on. But congratulations for exchanging, and good luck on your moving day. Really, really pleased for you. Really pleased for you. DRC, how you doing? Not seen you for a little while. Hope you're doing all right. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. I believe your best years are still to I'm in my early 40s. Perfect. Thank you very much. Chigo, how you doing? Scheduled to complete on the 20th of October. 2 completions hopefully happening that week in October. Can't celebrate until I have those keys. I bet it's been a long 7 months, and I bet you've seen a few things change over those 7 months as well. But it will be worth it. Congratulations. Join us next week when you've hopefully exchanged. Dafro Legend, happy birthday, Lee. Thank you for your videos and advice. You're more than welcome. I'm here if you have any questions as well, guys, so keep them coming. Miss Detox, hey, Lee. Hello. The new houses coming on the market, what percentage of those are in no chain? Also, what percentage of homes are being marketed due to repossession? Or is it right, so I haven't had a repossession we normally get, like our agency is normally one of the ones that does get the repossessions in my area. Last one was before COVID. Obviously, they did put a halt on repossessions during COVID, probably early 2019. And I had one that year. So repossessions were few and far between before COVID. I think it's still too early. I think if we are going to see repossessions, I think I read a stat that there are a certain amount of homes whose fixed mortgage runs out in 2024. A large proportion of fixed term mortgages run out in 2024. So if things haven't started to correct themselves by then, you might start seeing towards the end of 2023, early 2024, more and more repossessions coming onto the market. But whether those mortgages are people who are going to have to remortgage, because they could be people who are finishing their mortgage as well. So again, there's all these facts and figures, but they don't break it down enough for me. So there's 10 million mortgages due to expire in 2024. A certain percentage of those will be people who have finished paying off their mortgage. So you've got to take that in consideration. So that reduces the amount of people who are going to need to remortgage. Other people may sell and downsize and pay off a mortgage. So you've got to sort of look at these figures with a pinch of salt and not take them on face value. There's a lot more in-depth workings going on behind. But yeah, I think definitely too early to tell in terms of repossessions. Probably this time next year, early the year after. I live in an old people's town where I get a lot of probates and vacant properties where people go into homes. So I would probably say a good sort of 40% of the properties I take on the market are empty or have no onward chain. So, but that will vary from area to area. If there's a a young cosmopolitan area where you live, where there's a lot of families moving around and not many retired people, then that may be completely different where you are. Aaron, about his covenant. Well, I did hear from them, but for some reason they were under the impression I wanted the covenants removed on the whole estate. They were trying again just on my. That would make more sense. That would make more sense. Albie's got the sewage search back, public sewer on property, waiting for mortgage offer. Slowly does it home. You'll get there, my friend. You'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. It won't be long. Jimmy Davis, an optimistic houses will crash 35. I watched Moving with Charlie, and he does a lot of content, and he presents it really, really well. I think he does apologize for scaremongering people as well. So I watched his Best Agents channel. I've seen him on estate agents forums on Facebook commenting on that, and he does know his stuff. But I do sometimes think that some of the bits and pieces that he shares maybe over sensationalizes things. I'm not saying to get views, but since he started doing videos that are saying house price crashes and stuff like that, that's where he's getting a lot of his traffic from. So people are watching that. And there is a way of talking yourself into a downward market as well. So I like what he does. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's got friends in banks and stuff like that. But I know he predicted 40% crash. And I think personally, I don't agree with that. That's his opinion. My opinion is I can't see a 40% crash by any stretch of the imagination, but I could be wrong. He could be wrong. It could be somewhere in the middle, and that's it. No one knows. No one knows. All right. So you've just got to do what you think's best for you, and sort of cancel out all the noise, because you're the one that's going to have to pay a mortgage and live in that property. So you can't have anyone to blame but yourself. Listen to experts, take advice from parents and that, but you're the one that have to pay the mortgage and make that leap of faith to either buy or not buy. There'll be people who waited 2 years ago to buy a property and are now paying 25% more. Okay. And their interest rate is a lot higher. So you can wait too long and a crash not come, or the crash not as much as expected. But remember, the bigger number people put on their advertising of a crash, the more people that will watch. Papers do it, news do it. They sensationalize things to get clicks. Makes sense. Thanks. Lender valuation report hasn't been issued yet. But when my broker spoke to the solicitor, interesting. They normally give it to you, and the valuation report they should send to you. Interesting that they won't, but your broker should be able. You'll be told if the value doesn't value up. So if they say it's not we're not going to lend you the money because we don't think it's worth that, then you've got the perfect ammunition to renegotiate. So if that does come back lower, basic surfer, then you've got the perfect reason to renegotiate. DRC, my new solicitor is being awkward with IDs, wanted me to post, but I spoke to them beforehand to accept digital version via email of our photos, IDs online, especially charging me £36 for the two of us. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. That's different. That's different. Yeah, I personally, this is going to lead me on to the solicitor that I recommend, the conveyance I recommend. So they've sent me a few slides and bits and pieces of what they do, how they work. And I've negotiated a £250 discount for anybody who wants to use them or to get a quote from them. So if you are interested in that, then just need to drop me an email, lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk. I can get some information from you and provide you with a quote. And what I love about this solicitor, and one of my vendors is currently using them. And while they were uploading their ID to their portal, they were having trouble uploading it. They had a phone call from this solicitor within a minute, and they said, "We noticed you're having issues uploading documents to our website. How can we help you? Can we do it another way?" They were real-time tracking their client uploading documents, and we're able to rectify the problem. And the vendor called me out of the blue and said, "Lee, this conveyancer, fantastic." Get that phone call from that was absolutely amazing. So they're called Juno. They are fantastic. I've been speaking to the owner or the co-founder of it, and they sent me some slides of what you can expect if you was going to use them. So this is what you're going to get. So when you sign up to them, You'll get a nice welcome email. You'll meet the team, all the people you're going to be dealing with. Let's get rid of that for a second so you can see that. All the people you're going to be dealing with, and there'll always be someone. When you call, there'll always be someone you can speak to. You email someone, you'll always get a reply, which I love, absolutely love. And basics information, nice and simple. It's clear. It's very easy to interpret. So the next slide we've got here is basically a breakdown of what's going to happen. So you can see here a tick list, a nice simple tick list of what is going to happen, what stage you're at, and the things that you have done and that you're going to need to do. And I think as a first-time buyer, having it all laid out for you is key. So you know how far you've got and how much you've got to come. That's really going to help you decide on timescales and stuff like that. And the next thing, which a few people have commented on today, is when you get paperwork from the solicitor. And one of my clients in the buying service has texted me just before saying, Lee, I've had all this information through my solicitor. Can I run through it with you? Because it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to have a call with them later on. But when you get information like this, you get a question, they lay out the question they've asked the seller's solicitor. They give their opinion on it as well. You can see here, we've seen this. This is what it means, and this is the solution around it. Are you in agreement with it? They put it in plain English, so you, the everyday person, can understand in words and terminology that you can understand. So if you do want to speak to this conveyancer and get a quote, email me, lee@leverett.property.co.uk, and we can certainly put you in touch with this fantastic conveyancer, absolutely fantastic. And you get a £250 discount as well if you go to them via myself, which email me some details and I will get that sorted for you. So hopefully we can help you out and get things moving for you. But yeah, things like that. If you choose a decent solicitor, then that won't be a problem, my friend. But just give them a call, work something out. You maybe have to go in to see them, maybe, or do a video call along with your postal stuff. Yeah, ID can be a right pain in the backside. Jay, the crash of 90s had a 34% crash. Lots of people have been predicting a crash for 2 years, but the government has kept coming in with new things to hold the market. Yeah, and that's what they do. That is what they do. They earn a lot of money from the housing market. I was not very old in the 90s, so I don't remember that too much, but you're still talking 30 years. I don't remember seeing figures of 34% in the 90s. I could be wrong, but I don't know that the particular figure for the 90s crash. Only the one that I've worked through, which was fun. Alex has viewed a repossession house last week. Oh wow, whereabouts are you, Alex? Whereabouts are you? Let me know. Many thanks again. Thank you very much. It's nearly over now, isn't it? It's nearly over, but I've still got a few beers to drink. So. Shall I give you some advice? I received a copy of searches, so chase with your sister. Also, TA6 form from seller to give the buyer detail about property information. Yeah, so you will get a lot of forms. So I'm surprised that some solicitors hold on to a lot of information till the end. I don't know why they don't send it out as and when they get it, then you can digest it in small bits. You know, when you're revising for exam, you're told to look at stuff little and often. I think when you get stuff in the post, or when you get a solicitor that answers questions or does questions like this and then actually puts it in plain English for you, and then you can respond and they come back to you straight away, I think that's priceless. So yeah, it's solicitors work differently, but the ones I've found, I'm really pleased with, really pleased. Okay, evening all. Say hello, everyone. Say hello to everyone. Okay, nice to see you all. Nice to see. Jay, 100k fixed mortgages from now until the end of 2003. Lots of repossessions have come offer, and he's able to afford it. So it would be one of the ones that are being repossessed. So yeah, there will be people, and again, £100,000 fixed mortgages end of each month. Some of those people, that will be the end of their mortgage. Some of those people will downsize to pay off that mortgage. So for some of those, it's not going to be a problem. Not all of them, but again, you just got to sort of take those figures with a pinch of salt, because it's very easy to say 100,000 people each month aren't going to be able to pay their mortgage. Just not true. Just not true. Yes, give everyone a like. show the birthday boy some support. Thank you very much. Wow. I think lots of repossessions come. Will it lead to a banking crash? I don't think so, because banking, they get stress tested. The Bank of England do a stress test with scenarios every now and again to make sure banks can withstand interest rate hikes, a number of defaults on their account. Banks have to earmark a certain amount of capital. They've got billions of pounds just sitting there to draw upon if there is a housing market crash and people stop paying their mortgages. Remember, banks are able to offer mortgage holidays for 6 months, for up to 6 months for people, for millions of people across the country. They didn't fold then. So months and months and months and months and months of people not paying their mortgages. The banks had sufficient capital to swallow that, even though they're getting it back in the long run. But they did survive 6 months with a lot of people taking mortgage payment holidays. Thanks for confirming. We'll definitely chase this out. Definitely. Hello, Pate. Hi, Lee. Happy 18th. Thank you very much. Do bank valuations differ between different lenders? Not the value, but more how they look at the properties. One views the house as a 2-bed, but other can view it as a 3-bed. So different banks have different valuers they use or have on there. Some banks use the same valuers, but valuation is an opinion as well as a factual thing. So that the surveyor will look for comparable properties, and they won't want to put their name to anything they're not 100% sure on. So if they're not sure if the property is classed as a 3-bedroom, they'll value it as a 2-bedroom. If they are sure it's a 3-bedroom, or there's significant or evidence to suggest it is a 3-bedroom, main thing you can look at these things is generally loft rooms. If there's no planning permission for or building regs for the loft room, for a bedroom up there, then it will be classed as a loft room and will not be used in the valuation as a bedroom, which will affect the price. I think I mumbled a bit there, but yeah, it can vary from surveyor to surveyor as to what price they say, because it goes on a little bit of their opinion and comparable properties that they can sort of deal with. Leave it. They are on that West list of panels. I made sure I had a conversation with the owner and said, I need someone who is on a lot of panels, and sent me a long list, hundreds and hundreds. So yeah, if you do want to change to them, just ping me an email, lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk. I'll just need your phone number, the price you're buying at, whether it's leasehold, freehold, a few other bits and pieces, and I can get a quote fired over to you with the discount embedded into that thing for you. K Hicks, Sharon didn't know of Juno at the start of this process. Really unhappy with my sisters. Yeah. And this is what I'm hearing a lot at the moment. Solicitors are getting slow, forgetful, not very proactive. And I've had the opposite, the absolute opposite with this company. So it's a shame, but if you know anyone who's thinking of buying, Kay, point them this way and I can save them £250 on that. Hi, Arvind, how you doing? Currently buying a house in Aylesbury worth 350, and I'm putting 15% deposit down with 2.89% fixed for 5 years, and the closing date for this is by the 4th of November. Fantastic. Good on you. So you know you're going to be fine for the next 5 years. So congratulations. Proud of you. 34% was for Essex in the 90s. If just 5% of the 100 can't afford the doubling of mortgage repayments, that's still $5,000 a month, and that'd be disastrous. Let's hope you're right. I hope I'm right, because every repossession is a person who's lost their home, and I don't wish that on anybody. And even if I'm an estate agent who earns money out of repossessions, which unfortunately is a lot less on repossessions and a lot more work, I don't like seeing people out their homes being bailiffed, escorted out of their properties with kids and families. It's not. I've had to be at properties when bailiffs are chucking people out. I have to be a witness that the locks have been changed. It is absolutely horrible, emotionally draining for me and for the people there as well. So if there are repossessions, my thoughts are with anybody that unfortunately does get repossessed. There will be people. I just hope they find themselves in a better position in the long run. But yeah, but I mean, 5,000 over Essex. Essex is a big place. It's a big place, and not some of them will sell. They won't just get repossessed. Hopefully not. Anyway, hopefully not. Mortgages for 23 years. Wow. 23-year mortgage. Oh, so over 23 years. Okay. So depending on your age, if you do find in 5 years' time that the mortgage rate is still quite high, you can look to spread that that mortgage over a longer period if you can prove you can pay it into retirement, if that's how old you're going to be. So yeah. So 23 years, not bad, mate. Not bad. Not bad at all. So was there anything else I wanted to share with you guys? Have you got any more questions? Obviously, I know we've got a few people hoping for a crash of 30, 35%. Some YouTubers are predicting it. Some aren't. I can see a leveling off. I can see a leveling off. There may be, as I've said for probably 5-6 months, there might be dips. There might be dips, but I can't see there being a huge, which a lot of people are predicting. I just can't see it at the moment. And then if what I'm seeing changes, I'll of course relay on to you guys. But at the moment, I just can't see that that happening just yet. Not just yet. 4.49 from Miss Detox. Pair character doing a classic punch up. Yeah. Oh, hang on. There we go. Thank you very much, Miss Detox. Thank you for the super chat. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. A little happy birthday super chat. Thank you very much. 4.49. Very, very nice of you. Cheers. Really, really appreciate it. You don't have to, but any super chats are very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything they want me to make a video on? Because I will be making a video on the conveyancing to help people who may be starting their house buying journey or want to switch. Any questions about the property market? Are you buying a house, even selling a house? I know a lot of you guys will be first-time buyers, but anybody who is selling a house, if you do have any questions, you can get them in right now. And again, just want to say thank you to Miss Detox for the 4.49 super chat with a pair character doing a classic mic drop, which I can't see on my software here. I might have to log into YouTube and see it. There we go. Right, and for the end of the live stream, I'll reveal my age. I am 36 years old, ladies and gentlemen. This Stephen Mulhern lookalike is 36 years old. So well done to the 36% of you that said I was that. Thank you so much for the 36% that said I was 33. And even the 5%, which you may be taking a mix, said I was 30. And the cheeky sods of you who said I was 38 years old. Those bags under the eyes are really not doing me no favors. So if we are all done, guys, 23. You're too kind. You're too kind. Quite hard. However, a 9-year-old daughter, that would be quite hard to explain, wouldn't it? Right, guys, we're winding this up now. Thank you so much for joining me. If you do have any video ideas, please pop them in the comment section below. If you do want to speak to the solicitor and get a quote for the one that I'm dealing with, drop me an email, lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk. Don't forget to like the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week, whether there's a crash or not. Have a wonderful week, and thank you for all the birthday messages. It's really, really appreciated. Love to you all. Take care.